Are you ready? No, 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 no. I'm asking you, are you ready?
Laughing aloud now, magic in the air. Wands roll around us, cast away our care. Friends in the hallways, adventures we find. Spells and enchantments, trouble on our mind. That's so wizard, oh, 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 oh. Life is a spell we know. We're casting joy and glow, oh, oh. That's a wizard show.
Make up your frickin' mind, wizards. Hello and welcome. I thought we were done, but we're back because we're getting more news from the battle lines in regards to the poor Sigil. Apparently, Sigil has way more glitches than anybody expected. So Wizards of Coast is just kind of giving up on it. They rushed it to pre-release. We rushed it to the first looks. The first look was awful, glitch-filled, ran awful, rushed it back to the drawing board, did the Dungeons & Dragons live with Brandon Mulligan. There's just something creepy about Brandon Mulligan. And this crew, filled with glitches, rushed it back, threw a couple $100,000 out of it, and then announced it on February with a 140-word press release within the history of press releases. That's not much of a press release. That's like maybe a paragraph. That's like saying 140 words is like saying, dear people, we put this out. We think you should pay for it. But then you also have to pay for it on your app, on your phone, as well as on your, oh, that was 102 ad. So as of now, what's going on with Sigil? Because this was their baby. This was the big Dungeons and Dragons VTT. This is the reason why they cut ties with the Baldur's Gate people. This is the reason why they did all the shenanigans that they've done with computers for the past year in the AI, because it was going to be Sigil, and you're going to pay D&D Beyond on the computer, pay for D&D Beyond on the app, pay for the AI Dungeon Master, and then pay for the VTT Sigil. And then when you're using Sigil, there'll be all the things you're going to be able to pay for to make your Sigil experience better, like the bases and the cosmetics and the gacha and the whatever else, and I don't know, harems, or if you understand how gacha games work, or how like pubs games work, where you buy the DLC and you buy the cosmetics and you gamble for stuff, but it's not gambling. It's the same thing, if you've ever watched the play Starline, where you open the cards and you get like 27. Yeah, they were going to do the same thing, but now they're just like, yeah. Oops. Let's fire 30 people and blame it on them. But don't worry, because even as Sigil sinks to the bottom of the vat, it'll be ground up, regurgitated, and turned into the Soylent Green that they used to feed the Jeremy Crawford clones. They're working on something called D&D Beyond Maps. Now, D&D Beyond Maps already existed, but they're working on a new updating it. So D&D Beyond Maps, I guess, will be sort of a VTT. It'll be closer to what we are used to VTTs. And if you're already using D&D Beyond and D&D Beyond Maps, you're already familiar with it. So this will be more of like the top-down little icon moving around. You draw on it. Not the 3D video gamey thing that they were trying to do with Sigil. So they're working to make D&D Beyond Maps better. Why fire 30 people and then go, oh, you know what? We already have a thing. Why don't we just work on making that better? Can we get those 30 people back? And they can just, do stuff for D&D Beyond Maps. There's also some hemming and hawing about just taking everything that they've been doing for Sigil so far and moving it over to Dungeon Delves. Except Dungeon Delves is a book that's coming out. It's not a computer thingy. I looked for it to see if they were working on something else computer related, but no, the only mention of Dungeon Delves is the a collection of adventures that are coming out sometime this year or next year. So is this going to be a new thing that they're working on? Because there's very little information on it. What is Dungeon Delves? There's the there's the Dungeon Delve adventure thingy, and that's pretty much it. So are they working on another secret computer thing called Dungeon Delve? Because this is the first I've heard made of it. So as Sigil and the hundreds of thousands of dollars that they invested in Sigil sinks to the bottom of the well, are they already secretly working on a new one called Dungeon Delves? Or are they just referring to the book that's coming out called Dungeon Delves? Or if you are going to renegotiate and refocus your energy on the Dungeons Delve new thingy, which you don't need, or D&D Beyond Maps, which is what you should have done in the first place, then why fire 30 people? Now, recently somebody posted, well, what if somebody else already made a VTT and just took all those people and released one, and wouldn't it be better? Like, what if the Baldur's Gate people released a VTT using the Baldur's Gate engine because Wizards was dumb and didn't gobble that up when they cut ties with them? Then they could do everything with the Baldur's Gate engine that Wizards wanted to do with Sigil, but failed miserably. And there's nothing stopping them from doing it if that's what they really wanted to do. I don't think people realize how many VTTs are actually existing. Like, we generally speak about 3, roll 20. That's number 1, right? That's probably number 1. Let's Foundry VTTs probably second. And there's another one, plus of course, Bugbear Rodeo, which is, my favorite one because it's simple. But then there's Alchemy, and there's the isometric one, and there's the one that basically does Minecraft, VTT from, there's like 10. I don't remember the names of all of them, but I know there's way more than just the 3 that we normally hear about. So is there even a market for another VTT? Because all that Sigil had going for it, other than the amount of money you were going to have to pay for it, was the name. Wizards of the Coast presents Dungeons & Dragons Sigil, the official Dungeons & Dragons VTT. Except every time we see that ad with that guy going, hey, I'm so-and-so, you want to play some D&D with friends? Check out Roll20, the official VTT for Dungeons & Dragons. So isn't Roll20 the official VTT for Dungeons & Dragons? And doesn't Roll20 work relatively well? I mean, I find it clunky, but most other people seem to appreciate it. And doesn't Roll20 do everything you need for a top-down VTT, as well as add all the things like animated GIFs and animated tokens? And every week I list off things that people are making available for VTTs for Roll20 and Foundry and Alchemy. So there is a constant factory of stuff just being churned out weekly for Roll20, including things you never would have even thought about, like animated tokens. You're like, really? Why would you make that? I mean, it's so small on my computer. Am I really going to be able to tell that torch is flickering? Or is it just going to bug down my machine? But people made it. So the grassroots is out there. The companies that are making stuff for Roll20 and Foundry and Alchemy and the other ones whose names I can't remember, but I know there's at least 10, are making stuff. And now if Larian, I think that's the name of the company, Larian, I want to say Larian, I might be wrong. If the Baldur's Gate people take the engine, which of course was the original idea for Sigil, was to have that Baldur's Gate level of graphics and just go, we could do this. That would be amazing. I don't know how hard it is to make a VTT. I assume it's relatively difficult considering how long it took them to get Sigil up and running and how disaster prone it was. But Baldur's Gate people have already got it going, so I don't see why they couldn't. It's just, do they want to compete with Roll20? Now, if I was Wizards of the Coast, I would look at this latest disaster. I'd take the weekend to reassess And then I go, okay, we've got this D&D Beyond maps. And then sometime in the last 5 hours, we've decided to refocus on D&D Beyond maps right after we fired the 30 people who could have made this better. And we've got this Dungeon Delves thing. I don't know what that is, but it's mentioned in the article. So maybe it's another digital thingy they're working on. Or maybe they were just doing a little misdirection. We know Wizards of the Coast loves their misdirection. We know that every time they've unvat Crawford, he's going to do a little song and dance. He's going to do a little smoke and mirrors. Save Chris Perkins. Notice we haven't heard from him. So it could just be another smoke and mirrors. Hey, look, we're going to mention something and then not tell you what it is. And we're going to leave you all to speculate at all the marks, like the OGGM are going to speculate it on it. And while they're speculating on it, we're going to do something completely different. That'll probably piss you off. So I don't know. But if I was Wizards of the Coast on Monday, I would say, you know what? Maybe we don't need a VTT. We've got D&D Beyond maps. It works relatively okay. We've got people that could make D&D Beyond maps better. And then we constantly pay that guy to say, hey, use Roll20, the official Dungeons and Dragons VTT. Why don't we just invest in Roll20 and making that the official Dungeons and Dragons VTT? That way, Roll20 does all the work. We, Wizards of the Coast, don't have to pay anybody to do the work. Roll20 does all the work. Roll20 pays us for the royalties to use the D&D stuff that is copyright, like Beholders and Doppelgangers. And every time Roll20 makes money, we'd get our 10% of that for them using our copyrighted stuff. And we don't have to do any work. And whenever something bad happens, they'll blame Roll20. And whenever, God forbid, actually something cool happens, we can take credit for that. And that way, there's no more digital disasters. We've got D&D Beyond maps for the people we've suckered into paying. And then everything else is being invested in Roll20. And maybe we'll toss a bone to Foundry and Alchemy and the other ones. Yeah, you can use Beholders as long as you pay us a dime. But really, it seems like Roll20 is the baby. And you've already got the Roll20 ads where they say this is the official Dungeons and Dragons VTT. And Roll20 works. It may not be pretty. It may not be a Lamborghini. It may not have all the bells and whistles, but it works. So that's what Wizards should do. Oh, I got a comment. Greetings, great old one from beyond time and space. How are things? That's what Wizards should do. Is that what Wizards is going to do? No, we'll probably have some more fallout from this Sigil thing. We'll probably have some more hemming and hawing and whisperings about D&D Beyond maps and D&D Beyond the app and how the app is now different than D&D Beyond desktop and how there's going to be things specifically for the app that you can't get on the desktop, and there's going to be things specifically for the desktop that you can't get on the app, and D&D Beyond maps, plus this new pay-to-use D&D AI, plus whatever Dungeon Delves is. And as long as we're shucking and jiving and stuff and doing all the little, our little song and dance, then we can do something sinister again, like, the whole Dungeon Masters Guild thingy, and nobody will notice. Plus, there's some already some sour grapes coming out of the post $1 million Shadowdark Western Reaches announcement. I'm already starting to see people go, yeah, it's too expensive. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, honestly, I paid $9 to get the PDF and the physical print of Solo Dark, and wow, what a waste. I mean, I hate to say anything bad about Kelsey because I have nothing for respect for her, but this is literally a waste. So people are going, hey, why do I need to pay $96 for a PDF, Kelsey? I could understand paying $96 for physical, but I don't know. I wonder why they decided Sigil wasn't worth going for. I'm pretty sure they're going to shift a lot of Monopoly Go clone or some sort of gacha gambling mobile game. They're already working, Nikki. They're already working on Dungeons and Dragons Go. They have been working on that at least since late last year. They mentioned it briefly at Hasbropulse that they were working on D&D Go. Same people who bring you Monopoly Go. I guess they're just hemming and hawing it and hammering it. Wonder why they decided it wasn't zoning for. I think they rushed it. It's the article pretty much says that they rushed it. It was just glitchy, and then they tried to fix it, and they released it again and did another thing. There was the first one, the one we saw, which was this one, which was very glitchy, that 4-hour thingy. Then I guess these guys did something with it, and it was very glitchy. And now it's just bogged down with problems. They knew even when they released it in February with the 140-word, press release. 140-word press release is nothing. That's like 2 paragraphs. That's basically just like I said at the beginning. Hey, we put something out way up. And then they're just like, nah, we can't do it. It's just not working. It's just, we rushed it. It doesn't do what we want it to do. It's just glitchy. We just, I don't know. Maybe we shouldn't have gotten rid of our connection to the people who made Baldur's Gate, because think it'll ever be leaked one of these days, or should we just focus on BG3 mods? Do I think Sigil will be leaked? No. They've already thrown it away, and they're now working on D&D Beyond Maps and whatever Dungeon Delves is. I think Baldur's Gate people will do something. They're already working on something, and if they take the hint and take the engine, the Baldur's Gate 3 engine, which was going to be the backbone of Sigil, and because that was the graphics they were looking for, and just go, hey, they're not doing it. They could do, what Pathfinder did, and just go, hey, you're not doing it. We're going to do it. And we're going to do it better and cheaper. And you're going to continue to piss people off. And we're going to go, look what we did. Again, Wizards doesn't need its own VTT. It's got D&D Beyond Maps, which apparently is a thing. Fix that, make that better, and just invest in Roll20. Like I said, just have Roll20 be the official Dungeons and Dragons Wizards of the Coast VTT for the next 5 years until 2030, right? That's your problem solved. It's one less thing that people are going to be angry at you about, and I don't have to waste 17 minutes going, Jesus fucking Christ, Wizards, why? Why fire 30 people and then 2 hours later go, hey, we're working on something new? Ignore those 30 people we just fired, because now we got D&D Beyond Maps that we're going to improve. And we've got all this work we already did, and we're going to take that to Dungeon Delves. What's Dungeon Delves? We don't know, but we're going to toss that out there because now you're asking questions, because that's what we do. That's who we are. That's where we live. We get you in the heart. We get you in the wallet. We get in your mind, because that's, say it with me, so you know what I'm going to say, Wizards!
We're laughing aloud now, magic in the air. Wands roll around us, cast away our care. Friends in the hallways, adventures we find. Spells and enchantments, trouble on our mind. That's so wizards, life is a spell we know. We're casting joy and glow, that's a wizard show. Mischief in the classroom, potions gone astray. Flying through the quad, now brighter every day. Laugh so we cry hard, sneaking out at night. Cloaks in the moonlight, everything feels right. That's so wizards roll.